When I sign off the air today, I am sleeping until tomorrow at 4:59 and 58 seconds. Why? I have a soccer match to call.
Yep.
Let's
I can't do
go.
it. We'll do it live. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Mister, will you please wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up?
Good morning! Snowman here to all you Brock Purdy and San Francisco 49er haters. Shut up! I gotta thank you, Shane.
I mean, whatever happened to the games where breaking 100 points was, I don't know, unusual?
There was one word to sum up the All-Star weekend.
Trays. Cause we take this job so serious.
Splash Brothers, yes. Ray Allen, replace him with Steve Kerr. Reggie Miller, yeah.
What in the all types of blue hell?
You see the shirt. I came, I saw, I left early.
Oh.
Good morning. And welcome one and all to the fabulous, fantastic football Friday edition of Snowman in the Morning. Snowman in the Morning. Glad to have y'all with us. And brother, I have not slept this entire week. We got a change in programming today, folks.
Okay.
And Victor, I think, teaching me a very important lesson. Because there have been people that have been getting in my face about how I should do my show. There have been people getting in my face about what subjects I should talk about. There have been, I don't have my soundboard up here. There have been people getting in my face about how to handle what I do.
What?
And I have one response to all the folks that have not been here the entire 12 plus years we've done this. I have one simple response to those who have not been with us for the 30 plus years that I've been on the air. 25 with Victor, 16 with Shane, of course, 10 and a half, almost 10 years with Dietz. And that response is simple. All y'all.
There you go.
Now that I got that out the way, here's the change in programming. And Shane, you need to take a few notes and make some deliveries.
Okay.
Beginning, I know we said and flirted with 3-hour shows. We are going to do that. But given the fact that I am working on getting my CDL permit, we're going to cut it back to 2 hours for now. And there are a few other logistical things we're going to take care of. So, Shane, I need you to get the link to Allie and have her join us at the top of the next hour. Because I'm going to sign off. We're going to sign off at noon. I am going to knock these tests out, and get ready for the next step in the process. So with that in mind, I'm going to give the floor to Dietz.
Passionate.
Come after me! I'm a man! I'm 40!
Unflinching.
Let's go back to losing. Parking was easier.
Unrelenting.
They're not going to keep him off the field tonight.
Totally.
This one has a chance.
Dietz.
That's not just a murmur. That's a full-blown fibrillation.
There he is. The only man who at one point,
What's up?
the only man who
What's
I
up?
know at one
I
point
love
is going to call 9 whole quarters of one single matchup.
We hope it's not. We hope it's 9. Let's hope it's not 10.
I was just gonna say, what if it's 10?
Oh yeah, what if it's 10?
Oh God!
Because the matchup in October with the Cowboys and the Packers, this time at Lambeau Field, starts with quarter number 6, and you bring all the stats and all that stuff. Dietz, the floor is yours. Take it.
Boss, if we're gonna
All right, give me this camera.
Hold on.
Was it Doug?
It's right. Boss, hit the button.
Why? What button? Oh, yeah. Time for Dietz to. You move my stuff again. Time for Dietz to burn them up. My only warning is that we do have our stations today. Now, Dietz, call for it again.
Give me this camera.
All yours.
If you're listening to this live, put this in your comments. Put this, if you're not listening to this live, if you're commenting on this video, put this hashtag in your comment all over social media. Hashtag CFB play don't pay. EA Sports, you are a travesty. What you have done to the greatest football franchise that you have is absolutely abhorrent. What they have done is they have taken an individual mode, a single game mode, not even an online mode, and they have entered microtransactions. The only way you can reach the top levels of Dynasty or Road to Glory is you have to pay them money. That is on top of buying a machine to play the game on, whether you buy it on PlayStation or Xbox, which are $800 each.
Ooh.
Whether you buy it on a gaming PC, which could cost up to $2,000.
Mm-hmm.
Then you pay $80 for the video game. Just to play the game, you pay $80. And then they want you to pay an extra $100 to upgrade your player? That is absolutely insane.
That is gouging.
That's
Okay? That is absolutely insane. And I want to say this right now. You are seeing it from all the creators. I have not found a single creator on YouTube that does college football that has been pushing this game. I have not seen a single person say, hey, this is a good idea. This is exactly what we need. And shout outs to Bordeaux, who, by the way, Bordeaux, when I watch his content, I was going to come on here and absolutely rip him for his content, because his content is basically, I play the game, but he's terrible at the game. He's terrible at the game, okay? But no matter how bad he is at the game, that's okay. It's okay because his content is good and he enjoys playing the game. And he shows you everything about playing the game.
Mm-hmm.
But shout out to him for being the first one to say, you know what, EA, you invited me out to the creators thing. You have been pushing me as a creator, as a creator of this game, as somebody who, as a content creator that pushes the game. He was the first one to say, EA, go F yourself. I don't care if I ever work with you again. Get this crap out of the game. And he's absolutely right. Look, there is nobody out there that loves college football more than me. There's nobody that's played the college football games more than me. There's nobody that was more excited when college football, that was more devastated when college football took its hiatus from video games. Okay? It's one of the reasons I have not upgraded a system in 10 years. Is because there's no college football. So why would I get it? Why would I get a new system? Now they've got college football. And I was in the position to say, all right, I can go out and buy a system now. And then it was, all right, which one do I get? And EA, you already pissed me off when you have Madden 26 on the Nintendo Switch, but you don't have college football on the Nintendo Switch. That immediately says to me, I was going to buy a Switch. I wanted a Switch because they've got games. They've got some good games that I want to play. Nope. They don't have college football. So why would I get it if I have to get another system just to play college football?
Right.
So now I have to make the decision, do I get a PlayStation 5 or do I get a computer, a gaming computer that could be exponentially more? But either way, I was willing to bite that bullet to get this game and play it. Mm-hmm. And now you're telling me if I buy the game and I play the game, I can't reach top levels unless I pay money on top of that? Absolutely not. EA, you are never going to get a transaction. And you know what? Speaking to people out there, people that say, "Oh, if you don't like it, just don't play the game." No, we love college football. We love Madden. We love playing football games. That's what we love to do. And guess what? We can't do it unless we play college football or Madden. You can't do it with other games. They just don't exist. They're not allowed to exist. So they have a monopoly on this.
There's no quarterback.
They have a monopoly on football games. So if you love playing football games, you're done.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and I hear people saying to all these creators that are coming out, like Bordeaux, like Not the Expert, like Bengal, like RBG, like Mees, like all of these guys that I have been watching for the last 4 days that have been ripping this apart as they should, and telling EA, go stuff it. Look, and there's people that are coming back at them and saying, if you don't like it, just don't play the game. That's not realistic. Because you know what? They love playing the games. They create great content by playing the games. Most of them, look, that's their life. That's their brand. Their brand is they play dynasties. They do dynasties and they show you everything, and it's fantastic content. Okay?
Yeah.
So to tell them, just don't play the game, that's not solving the problem. The problem is, EA, you're trying to steal people's money. You're trying to grab money out of people, and that's not right. And to go back, we're gonna harp on this all day long with a lot of the stories that I have, and I mentioned this in the private chat for our show. This is a microcosm of everything that is going on in every spot of life. If you're not a video game person, okay, it doesn't matter. This is happening in every aspect of life where people watch something that is, people have watched NBA 2K. NBA 2K used to be a great game. Then what did they do?
Yeah.
Then what did they do? They put microtransactions, and you can only upgrade your player if you pay them money. And what happened to the game? It cratered. No one wants to play NBA 2K. No one wants, and everybody that goes into it knows, hey, if I started a player in this, I know I'm going to have to pay money in order to get them up to the highest level, or I'm going to have to grind 600-700 hours, which if you're a working person, if you're a family person, you may get 2 hours a week of playing video games. You don't have time to do all of that. Mm-hmm. But that's what NBA 2K did, and it cratered their game. So EA Sports saw this and said, you know what? Let's put it in our game. Like, you're doing the dumbest thing possible. The dumbest thing possible. And let's put it in our game. Why? Because EA thinks they can do it better. Guess what? You can't. No one is going to stand for this. No one is going to, and I'm not going to say no one. There are probably people out there that will say, I want to do this. I want this to happen.
Right.
That are going to say, you know what? I paid for the game. I might as well pay to. Look, it's your money. Do what you want with your do what you want with your money. I don't have $2,000 to buy a gaming PC, $100 to buy the game, and another $100 to play the game. I'm not doing that, and I will never do that. Okay, I'm good enough in my life right now that I don't need to spend $2,500 to play one game. Mm-hmm. That's not happening. This is a travesty. EA, you should be ashamed of yourselves for even trying to put this in. And for everybody out there that says, oh, you know, they don't understand this, that, oh, it was just something that was snuck in the game. It was not snuck into the game. Okay? It wasn't. Because they knew this was coming, because last year they had XP sliders that you could put on fast or fastest. You didn't have to do the normal setting. You could do fast or fastest and skip skip a lot of the BS that you have to go through. And for some people that works. Some people just want to play the game normally. Some people, they want to go through it as quick as possible and see where they can get. It was choice. Players had the choice. How do I know this was intentional? This year's game, normal, slowest, and slow. They took fast and fastest out of the game. Why? So that you pay to do it. Put it behind a paywall. We talk about this all the time. Putting stuff behind paywalls is a coward move. It tells you we don't care about the audience. We don't care about you. We just want your money. And that is awful business. And look, again, I'm not going to sit here and tell people. I've seen people come out and say, oh, boycott the game, refund the game. Look, if you love playing the game, play the game. Just don't pay them. Do not do these. Do not do these. Again, Bordeaux's hashtag, CFP, play, don't pay. Play the game, but don't pay. And every single post you have, every time you play the game and you talk about the game, put that in, that I did not pay them. Because EA needs to know this is not the way they can make money. But it's awful idea. EA, you should be ashamed.
This is his thing. I know they're not ashamed because it's not the first time they've done it. They did this with Battlefront 2, with Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Yeah, and what happened? They had to walk it back.
Yeah, you're right. They had to walk it back. But I'll tell you right now, they will try and try and try and try again. And here's the thing: where it comes to the don't like it, don't play it. It's not the same as they put something in the game I don't like. It's now they're like, we're going to gouge you for more money. Or something that's supposed to be basically in the game. So already should be ingratiated in the game. Why do you need to pay for extra to actually use it? It doesn't make sense.
And I mean, this goes on to even greater expanses with the fact that PlayStation just came out with the fact that, hey, guess what? Going forward, no more physical media.
Right.
Meaning, the only way you can buy games now is get a digital download, which is absolutely. Which, look, I get it. People download games, and more people download games than ever. But what's going to happen is what's happening with college football right now. The game comes out and it's buggy, and there are things in it that are absolutely unfit, that are unplayable. You cannot play Dynasty mode right now. You cannot play it. Why? Because the computer doesn't. They don't recruit people. I was watching a guy. He said, "Now, Droid, I see your hand up. I'll get you in a second." But what I want to explain why this is unplayable. It's unplayable because one guy did it. He did 10 seasons and he simulated them out. And what he found is that there were no quarterbacks ranked 90 or higher, meaning they were just kicked out of the game. The CPUs did not recruit them. Didn't recruit them, and it just kicked them out of the game. And he went through all the positions, and there was like 5 guys over 90s, and there were 63 punters that were 90 plus. And this is a bug in the game that exists. That if you just played the game, you would see it and be like, "Oh crap, we need to fix that." But guess what? The only way they can fix it is through a downloadable patch. This is what's happening to video games. Is they're getting put out there because it's digital releases now. They're just saying, "Hey, put the game out. Just get the game out. We don't care if there are glitches. We don't care. We'll fix it in post. We'll fix it in a patch later on." That's not video gaming, man. That's not how it should be. When I pay $80 for this game, I should get it, be able to play it on day one. And yeah, there will be things here and there that you're like, okay, this isn't that good, or this could be fixed. Maybe in the next game they'll upgrade this. That's why people buy the next game. They buy the next game because they're like, oh, this is a good game, but this can be fixed.
Better. Yep.
You don't buy a game for $80 and say, well, they'll patch it in a month. They'll patch it in a couple of in a couple of months down the road. They'll patch it and it'll be better. No, you buy a game so you can open it, put the disc in, and play the game and enjoy your time instead of sitting there going, "What the hell are we doing? What the hell? Why are half the 4-star guys not getting recruited by anybody? Wait a minute, what is happening here?" And I've watched so many videos of people just glitching out the game. This is what people are supposed to do. They're supposed to test these games before they come out. So this stuff's not there. But that's what we're going to get now that games are all digital. This is the life we're going to live. We're going to live with games coming out. They're going to be glitched as hell when they come out at launch. And you'll hope that they fix it in the future. Now, Droid, what's up, man?
So I got 2 things. One thing is this all stems from a game that came out, I think it was around 21 or 2018, and it was Cyberpunk 2077. We all remember when that came out. It was the glitchiest game that ever came out on launch, and they did originally just a full digital launch, and then they released discs later on. But it shows that developers are more worried about developers aren't the problem, by the way. People need to realize that. Developers aren't the problem. The problem is the companies. The companies are pushing games out so they can make more money in the long run instead of trying to get a game that isn't buggy, isn't glitched, it doesn't have problems, doesn't have player-based issues.
Right. Trying to do it right the first time.
They're not trying to do it right. They just want to make the money. That's something you've noticed I've noticed in gaming. I'm 23 years old. I've been gaming for all my life. It's hard to find games now that have genuine time put into it unless it's an indie corporation. A group of like 50 guys who come together, make one video game, and it's the best thing you've ever played. We lost that. Because there's the second thing. We lost that once disc games didn't immediately load after you put them in. We lost that where you had to start downloading games you bought on disc. That's where we lost that wonder, that whole good feeling of a game. Who remembers getting Black Ops 2 day one and loading it into your Xbox. It loaded immediately. You didn't have to wait for a download. You just played it because the game was on the disc. Now it's the file that's on the disc, not the game. The file is on the disc.
Yep.
It's not the actual game. Because if you look on your Xboxes and you put in a disc game, you take it out, it's still there on your console. It's just you don't technically own the game unless it's in your console. And that's another thing. Nobody owns games anymore. It's all leases now. Xbox is the only corporation where you own the game you play. You don't get a lease for the game. And it's all kind of stemming from what Nintendo started to do, where they're like, oh, yeah, your Switch 2, you're leased the Switch 2. You don't own it. You can't do anything to it. You're leased it. You have permission to own it. And it's like, what happened to the days
and to that point, Droid, I don't mean to cut you off, but to Nintendo, to the Nintendo Switch 2, if they don't like how you're playing with the device that you own, if Nintendo doesn't like it, they can brick it. They can brick your so you can no longer use it. And they can arbitrarily do it for any reason that they want.
They can find whatever reason, and it becomes a $600 paperweight. But what happened to the days when my dad was growing up, where you bought, a Super Nintendo Entertainment System, and you own that console? You could do whatever you want to it, and Nintendo couldn't say anything.
Nope, they couldn't.
When the GameCube came out, and people started modding almost immediately after the GameCube came out, adding these cool features, these cool attachments, and that was when Nintendo embraced these attachments. The little LED screen you could attach to the GameCube instead of hooking it up to a TV. You had battery packs. You had so many different things you could do with just one GameCube, because it was the most community-friendly console Nintendo ever released, was the GameCube. It embraced the community. After the GameCube, there's been no community embrace. The last time I saw community embrace with Nintendo was with the DS, the handheld, their first versions of handheld consoles was the DS. I had a DS growing up, an original Nintendo DS. I had a DSi, and I also had a 3DS. I had all of it growing up, man. And, we owned that console, but after the Switch came out, Nintendo realized, we're making a lot of money off this concept. And nobody owns this game. Nobody owns this console. You know what? If you mod, because they saw all the mods that the community was doing on the original Switch, they were like, if you mod your Switch, we're bricking it. It does not matter. And apparently there's a fail-safe within the code that if you try to modify it, it will brick it like that. You get no reaction time to undo your mistake. It will be permanently bricked. You cannot do anything about it. You could try to contact Nintendo support, but they will tell you, did you try to make a modification? You did? Well, that's too damn bad. You don't get a refund. And it's ridiculous. Are you telling me that $600 out of my pocket, out of the money that I spent and worked hours and hours for, saved up the money to use, is just used on a paperweight? It's ridiculous. And no wonder why people are switching to PC gaming, because at least with PC, you own the PC. You can't get your PC bricked. You can do whatever you want to PC. And with consoles, the only console I've seen where you don't get your console bricked for doing modifications to it is Xbox. I have a modded Xbox Series X. And has it been bricked? No. Do I own that Xbox? Absolutely I own that Xbox. There is nowhere within the terms of service for Xbox that says you do not own the rights to your console. It's not a lease. It's you own the console, period, end of story. It's PlayStation is even saying with their new console, if you make any modifications to it, they are free to brick it whenever they feel like it. I have not seen the same thing from Xbox. But, I don't know if it's because of the new CEO. I don't know if it's because, Xbox just has a different direction than these other companies, less for the money, more for the gamers. I don't know what Xbox is doing, but all I know is this. We don't own, for people who game just like me, just like Deez, just like Brian when he was growing up, just like Victor growing up, just like Shayner growing up, just like Genevieve, Napoleon now, you know, we are surrounded by games all of our lives.
Yes.
We don't own anything. Unless you have a PC like me and Jen do. I know Napoleon does have a PC. I know Shayner had a PC at one point. I know most of the people who watch the show have a PC.
Yep.
We own the PC. We own the games on our PC.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to your console, you don't own anything. You don't own a single thing. And, you know, people always talk about the console wars growing up. The console wars are over at this point. PlayStation lost. Because they want money. They don't care about you. They care about the cash that is in their hands, man. And you need to, and to all the people who are still being fanboys of PlayStation, get it through your mind. You're paying how much a month for PlayStation Plus just to play online? The base price for Xbox Game Pass, the thing you need to play online, $10. It's $10. That's all you have to pay is $10 a month. How much do you have to pay for PlayStation Plus? Oh, about $30 a month. No, I'm not paying $30 a month just to play online and get a few exclusives. I will pay $30 a month happily for Xbox Game Pass Ultimate because I get 3 other subscriptions that I don't have to pay for separately on top of the Game Pass subscription. I get 3 games. I get games at launch. I don't care about exclusives when I get 3 games. FREE. That spells free. I'm sick.
Don't you cuss in the gaming world like that?
Give me this camera.
Take it.
I'm the oldest one of the group here. And I can tell you, I have not messed with a game system since 2007. And Victor knows this because he and I used to live together. I had a PlayStation and I never used it. My mother gave it to me. I started seeing glitches from other gamers with college football, with Madden, and all that kind of, and all those games. I decided, you know what? My gaming days are over. And then Victor got smart and got a computer, and he said, "Snowman, this is how you can do it." So I did for a couple of years. The first system I ever had, and I have never shied away from this. The first system I ever had was an Atari 5200. Now I got it for Christmas one year. I played the 2600 with friends. Never owned one. In our household, it went from the Atari 5200 to the original Nintendo to the Super Nintendo, and then somehow Mom got hold to a PlayStation, and I didn't know about PlayStation until I moved out of Chicago for a while. I have said this many times on this program, and I will continue to say it. I do not try the complicated moves. Because I don't try the complicated games on Xbox or PlayStation or anything like that. Well, one, because I'm old, and 2, I keep things simple. Up, down, left, right, shoot. That's it. If I ever played a football game, 1 button runs, 1 button throws. You control the rest via your joystick. That's it. That's it, and that's all. So what EA Sports is doing is flat out highway robbery. Highway robbery. I wouldn't play a game from EA knowing this ever. I've seen people play it. I've been around people who've played it. I've lived with people who played EA Sports, and they tried to get me into it. Nope.
But there's one thing to that. There's one thing to that, Snowman. And Victor brought it up before. Victor brought it up before with Battlefront 2. With Star Wars Battlefront 2, EA tried this before.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened is the community came together and said, no, we're not doing this, and you're going to lose everybody. And what happened? EA backed down, and they took the microtransactions out of the game.
You're back.
That's where we're at right now.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, this is where we're at with college football. And that's why it's important for people to get out there. It's important for the community to say, we're not doing this. We're not having this, and get this out of the game, and it can be fixed. It can. If they get rid of this, look, the game is beautiful. It looks good. Are there some things they need to clean up? Yes. But if they get this out of the game, it can thrive. People can still play it. But what they've done is burned bridges. EA, you have burned every trust that anybody has. And until this gets fixed, look, somebody like me who was willing to buy a brand new upgrade to a brand new system, guess what? I'm not doing it until this is fixed. I'm not gonna go out, kill myself over, spend $3,000 of my money. That's $3,000 I could use on something else to enrich my life. I don't need to do this. So EA, get your house in order. Get your house in order. Get this crap out of the game, and go make your. I mean, there are so many ways you can make money in video games. This ain't one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Boss, you mind if I get my pound of flesh on this one?
Go for it.
Let me say something right first.
Victor, go. Then we'll go to me.
There are other. The problem is that even if they do fix it, there's a large amount of the fan base they're not getting back.
And there's a large amount of time that they've wasted.
To add on to that, Victor, Bordeaux said in his video he's no longer an EA partner. He has left the EA partner program and will no longer be working with them in the future.
Good.
Yeah, like I said, much props. Bordeaux is the first one to jump on this, and he's lit a fire. And much props to Bordeaux. As I've said, I've watched his content. I know his content. His content is based around these games. Mm-hmm. And for him to say, I'm out, that is a big blow. And a lot of people will jump on board with him.
That's a big fat L for EA.
Yep.
That's a big fat L for them. Victor, go.
I'm gonna just say like this: the biggest problem right now is that they've already broken that trust. Mm-hmm. And they should have broken it when Battlefront 2 came out, because you should never have, again, basic things behind a paywall. That should never happen.
Right.
And that's what they did.
Like subscriptions per head.
Right.
I'll get my pound of flesh at the top of the second hour. Shane, go.
All right, time for the old dog to weigh in on this one, and trust me, I have been chewing on this one for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it really came to light when I was watching my dog Shelfie, who does MLB The Show videos on YouTube. Yeah. Even he got in on it because he also plays the game. And trust me when I say the entire gaming community, not just the sports community, the entire gaming community is pissed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I get microtransactions. It's also someone who had a subscription to iRacing, and you pay for content, but you only have to pay once.
Right. That's the trick. One payment. One.
But for them to hide the ability to have your player as a top tier behind a paywall This proves that EA being bought out by a group, well, you know what, and I'm going to say this goes even into the wrestling community, by a group in Saudi Arabia. Victor, you know exactly where I'm going with this.
Yep.
Says a lot because they are money hungry.
Yeah,
Say it louder for the people in the back. Say it louder for the people in the back.
Please, please.
Out to the Spectrum, this one's going out to the God, and this one's going out to the Forum. The group in Saudi Arabia is money hungry.
This goes out to all the folks at the Hemisphere in San Antonio.
Well, you bring up the Saudi purchase. That's where this all comes back to, because when they purchased EA, they have a $20 million. They have a $20 million debt that EA has to that they have to recoup. They have to recoup. You're not going to recoup it through microtransactions. This isn't going to happen. The way you recoup that is by putting out good games, making games, and putting out more games. Not putting out one game and trying to scrounge through as much money as you can.
I mean, look at the fact of when EA in its heyday, it had NBA Live, it had NHL, it had Madden, it had, it had Need for Speed back when it started. It had so many quality titles that when they came out on launch were perfect. And now you're looking at things where we're getting a pissed off gaming community before GTA 6.
Right.
This is getting ridiculous.
It is.
And when you
it's getting very ridiculous. And
community pissed off at you.
Mm-hmm.
Not just the college football fans, not just your Madden fans, but MLB The Show people like Daddy Dimmu, like my boy Shelfie, like those guys, like Cougs. You get the NHL fan base pissed off because those guys are going now scratching their head wondering, is this coming over to our game next?
Yeah.
And it is.
To piggyback off what Shane is saying, and for the bigger overall point, and I know we're focusing on these sports games because that's what EA is, and because we're all sports fans.
Mm-hmm.
But Droid brought it up before. If the larger gaming community, if the entire gaming community does not stand up to this, does not stand up for these sports games, and if they brush this off as, oh, that's sports games, we don't play sports ball, we don't care about that. If you don't stand with these sports guys now, this is going to come to your front door.
Yep.
If you don't stand with these guys now, it's going to come to you. It's going to trickle down through every aspect of gaming, and it's going to come to your doorstep at some point. So that's why we're saying get on board with this now before it gets there, before it becomes something we can't push back on.
Y'all see the hashtag that's going around in the chat? Not only do we want you to use it, we dare you to use it and come together.
I want you guys to respond to what Damien's been saying in the chat.
No.
I'm not gonna be bothered.
And we're not going to be bothered either. We're not going to be bothered with it.
It's okay if you don't care about it, that's fine. But don't tell people that you shouldn't be worried about it.
It doesn't even deserve a response.
Especially if it's something that deals with certain people's, like how they earn money. Because a lot of these content creators, they earn money.
They earn money doing that. They earn money doing this.
I'll address it, considering I'm also one of those people.
Go ahead, though.
Shut the F up.
There
Those
you go with it.
content creators, like me on Twitch, like I said, Daddy Dimmu, like Cougs, like Shelfie, those guys, they get paid to play these games.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Their input is valued in this community. And if you don't think that them harping about something like this is going to make a wave, you, sir, are mistaken.
You, sir, are dumb.
Yeah, The creator, the content creators, these are guys that they get the game. They get the games at discount. They get the games. Sometimes they get the games for free to play and to make content out of. When you're seeing guys like that, guys like Bordeaux who get brought out to Chicago to test the game, that get the game before launch so that they can make their content and they can do all their stuff. When you have people like that are saying, no more, you know it's a big deal. You know it's a big deal because they're getting it for free. Imagine someone who has to buy this game and it's buggy as hell and it's broken, and then they're asking you, hey, if you don't want it to be as broken as we've made it, just give us a little bit more money. No. No. That is the greediest thing I've ever seen. And that's why it's important. It's important because, again, we've seen this before. We've seen this before. And people said, you know what? That ruined that game. Let's put it in our game.
Yep.
We're gonna talk about a lot of other things in the hour coming up. We're gonna talk about a lot of things, but it's happening all over. This is happening in every aspect of our lives. We're seeing people make mistakes, and instead of saying, "Oh, they made a mistake," let me do the opposite of that. People are saying, "You know what? Let me do that and double down and do it even worse."
You mentioned the NBA 2K.
What are we doing?
Deeds, you mentioned the NBA 2K community and how it cratered. There were a few content creators I watched that were playing NBA 2K, and they were an arm about paying for a player that they already created, among other things.
And that's NBA 2K, where you can take your guy, you can go to another mode, you can play in street ball with your guy, and then bring him back to the NBA. You could use that player in an online, game with other people. You could do that. In Road to Glory in college football, you play 4 years with your guy, and you play maybe 50 games, and you're done. You can't use that guy you can't do anything with that guy anymore. So you're paying $100 to upgrade your guy for maybe 10 games, and then you can't use them anymore. And then you're done. And then you have to start a whole new one.
Boss, you're talking about the NBA 2K community. That brings me up to the fact of one of our former guests, our buddy Ben DeVille. He's one of the biggest community guys I've seen.
Yeah. It's
just a microcosm. It's a microcosm of what's going on. Mm-hmm. And yeah, hey, look, if you don't care about video games, if you don't care about sports, if you don't care about that stuff, that's fine. Again, that's you.
Yep.
I care about sports. I care about video games. I care about sports video games. Okay? So it affects me on more levels.
Mm-hmm.
But again, if you don't make a stand here, if you don't stand with these people, if you don't stand with this community, it's going to come to your front door. It's going to come to whatever it is you like, whether it's movies, books, arts and crafts, whatever it is that you find that your hobby is, whatever your hobby is, mm-hmm. It's coming to you.
Yep.
If you don't stand with this group, it's going to come to you because they're going to find a way to do it.
What's the old phrase?
And that's why it's important to take a stand now.
What's the old phrase? If you don't stand for something, you fall for anything.
Yeah.
That's where we're at. Shane, go ahead.
There's three of us on this panel who play sports games. I know Droid deep with NHL. Mm-hmm. I know Deeps, you play a lot of great stuff as well. You got me sitting over here playing a lot of things as well, streaming a lot of things. This does affect people.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, Damien, I get people are dying every day, but for God's sake, that's national coverage. We cover what we want to cover here because other people refuse to.
Here's the thing, Damien, and I will respond, and I'll respond first by saying, give me this camera.
Take it.
We cover what we want to cover here, which is mostly sports. You're worried about what you're worried about, and that's fine. I get it. Our mission is to take people's minds off of that for 120 or 180 minutes. Okay? That's why we cover some of the subjects that we cover here. Because I have said for many, many years, and Victor has heard me say it, the world is too damn serious for its own good.
Yeah.
That's why we're here. That's why we're here having fun with this.
That's why video games themselves exist, because the world takes itself too damn serious.
Which prompts this.
It allows you to decompress.
Let's really, you know what, Damien? Let's really have some fun before the top of the hour. Hold on, dudes. Let's really have. I want in the chat, and I want this panel to identify not just the first video game that they played, but the first video sports game that they played. I'll go first. The first video game I ever played was Pac-Man, and I did it in an arcade. The first video sports game I ever played was RBI Baseball.
Yes.
Yep.
RBI Baseball, the stand-up version in the arcade. And Victor, I'm going to make you smile, at old Evergreen Plaza.
There you go.
First video game for me was Super Mario Bros. First sports game, RBI Baseball.
Deeds, what about you?
First video game I played was The Legend of Zelda.
There you go. I love it.
For the Nintendo Entertainment System. And the first sports video game was Tecmo Super Bowl.
Droid, to you.
I think I still have my first sports game and my first game I ever played, like on original copy, in my room. I know where it is. When I was a kid, my favorite movie was Cars. That's how I got into NASCAR. So I got the original Cars video game. Where I was introduced to a band called Autopilot Off.
Yep.
Which is also how I got into like the whole rock and roll, heavy metal, pop punk. Like that's how I got into that whole store of genres. My first sports game was either Madden. I think it was the one with Drew Brees on the cover, or it was NHL 12 with Steven Stamkos on the cover.
Victor, what about you?
First game, I would say is the first combo is Super Mario and Duck Hunt. And the first sports game was soccer on the NES.
I played the first, like I said, first sports game I ever played was RBI Baseball. And when we got the Atari 5200, first sports game I ever had there was soccer, Atari Soccer. And my sister and I would have wars in that game. But you own the game, you own the console.
Yep.
Period. Point blank, end of story, which is where all this started at the top of the hour.
That's why Nintendo for the longest time still ran cartridges.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have lived, if you never have had to blow into a cartridge. Good morning, Gina. Good morning, Gina. To you, we send support back to you. 57 after the hour. Allison Moran coming up soon. We're just doing a little reminiscing here before we go to the top of the hour.
Greatest lie your parents ever told you is let the game cool down.
That's a lot. Give me this button. Give me this button. That's how they got you off the game.
Yeah.
That's how they got you off the game. Let the game cool down. Wait a minute.
And
Wait
you
a minute.
Go do
Let
something else. Go.
go clean your room.
Right. Go clean your room. Go do the dishes.
Clean
the garage.
That's how they tricked you into housework.
Yep.
Go let the game cool down. My next words are these.
That's a lie.
They knew.
Of course they knew. Of course they knew. She's doing Jody's doing great. She's getting some extra rest now because she has to work on Sunday. I remember listen, Atari and I were best friends from the console to the games themselves. Okay. I told you the first two games I ever played on the Atari 5200 were Pac-Man and Centipede.
Yep.
Me and Centipede had wars. I'm up at the first experience I ever had being up at 11 o'clock at night, 12 midnight and beyond was playing Centipede.
Yep.
Okay, I'll throw the clock back.
Go for it.
Who remembers the Panasonic 3DO?
Oh God.
3DO.
I threw down on Gex on that thing, and I threw down on Slam and Jam 95.
There you go.
Mhm.
While we're talking video games, Gina says Pac-Man. I beat that. Eventually, I did too on the 5200, and I turned it over in the arcade only once. I don't remember how I did the thing.
I got some nostalgia for you.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
The good old Nintendo Power.
Yes.
Nintendo Power. What a great concept. A magazine just about Nintendo games.
Yes. You know what?
What a novel concept.
Yes. No other console did that. Not Atari, no. Nintendo Power was the magazine to get. And it was a premier magazine because, well, one, Nintendo was the thing, right? And two, everyone was trying to flip over either Super Mario or Super Mario 3.
And they would have great posters in them.
Yes, indeed.
I can remember getting every Nintendo Power and just taking pictures of the game and having a full wall of just Nintendo.
I did that.
Just pictures from the Nintendo Powers that I would cut out, put on the wall.
Did that.
Have a nice collage up.
I gotta tell.
Nintendo Power was great.
Before we go to break, I gotta tell this story. We mentioned earlier about having PCs to play games.
Yeah.
I will tell you the only time I got mad at Victor in 25 years. When we lived together in Gary, Victor snatched one of my laptops that I was using to broadcast, and I'm starting to giggle thinking about this. He would download NHL 94.
Mm-hmm.
I came in from a road trip with a migraine headache that's bigger than the Chiefs having to deal with Justin Fields.
Oof.
No, he didn't hear it. I had a migraine headache that was bigger than the Patriots trying to deal with Cam Newton.
Oh.
Shut up.
I had a migraine headache bigger than Jim Harbaugh and the 49ers trying to deal with Colin Kaepernick. There, how's that? Anyway, I had a horrible migraine. I had just come back from Kansas City. I didn't know Victor was home. So I got in the house. I got in the house and I said, I'm going to fall flat on the couch and I'm going to sleep for a little bit because in 48 hours time, I had to go back on the road. Why did I hear NHL 94 with Victor reviving an old rivalry that I love watching, which was the Chicago Blackhawks and the doggone St. Louis Blues?
Right.
I said, Victor, what are you I'm playing NHL 94? Okay, just keep it down a little bit. And he looked in my eyes and he says, "Oh, you got a headache, don't you?" I said, I got a big one. So I laid back down. I'm just about asleep. You ever get to that level where you're just about asleep?
Yep.
And you think nothing could wake you up?
Yep.
And then I hear, because Victor scored. I think it was Troy Murray who scored.
Yep.
I sat straight up and I yelled, "What the hell was that?" Victor peeks out the door. "I'm playing NHL 94, man." I said, "I told you to keep it down. I have my earbuds in." "Well, still, keep it down. How can you hear through my earbuds? They're loud."
Here's the problem. The volume itself, the master volume itself was like close to minimum.
Yes, it was.
Along with my headphones in. I cannot explain how someone was able to hear it so clearly, but
I
apparently
don't know, man. I don't know. And he was kicking the Blues' ass, okay?
Yep.
I just get to sleep. I just get to sleep. And once again, I hear, and I went completely off. That's one of the few times I've gotten mad at Victor and he paid for it. He's, "Why are you beating me? I told you to keep that ish down. I got a headache." I woke up the next day. Ow! Pass interference. I woke up the next day and Victor looked at me and said, "Are you better now?" Huh?
What you mean, huh?
Did not remember a thing that happened the day before. I was in pain. I was in horrible pain. Then Victor told me what happened. I said, "Oh, oops." And then and then Victor got me back.
Yep.
By playing it again. This time I was ready for it. We got a break. When we come back, the Winds of Chicago will blow in Allison Moran. And boy, we got a lot to talk about. Fever got a big win last night, but there's a war going on in the W. A big time war. Who's it concerned? Who do you think? Second hour in the Deuce.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
The original Think drink is back. Level up with proven ingredients formulated to crush your competition. No gimmicks, no jitters, no messing around. Just high potency results that keep you moving day or night. There's a new nerd in town, and we came to play. Nerd Focus. Smarter than energy.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
I want to do a TED Talk, but I don't have anything to talk about yet. I'm getting there.
Life is for the living. We're not here that long.
You can learn anything you want to learn without any money spent.
What do I really enjoy? What do I really want out of life?
I am your host, WIZE.
Are you in a life holding pattern? Well, this is for you. Welcome to the Stuck in My Mind podcast. Live every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at 4 p.m. Central. Drew Willingham.
In this case, yeah, you put the blame on Kyle Shanahan for apparently not preparing the team enough for the overtime rules, supposedly.
Cole Johnson.
Peyton was considered the winner, and he was the darling of all darlings for Gerald.
With a special appearance by Tyrone Alizé McDummy.
Ain't nobody calling me. Text. Delete! 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 Delete!
Join these two football enthusiasts as they give you Total Football Talk. Live every Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central on the Sertoba Media and the Comey Media YouTube channels. Cause we take this job so serious.
I'm sorry, what are these things called?
Spices?
Spices, thank you. My brain went bleh.
What in the all types of blue hell?
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Played that for Jody and told her that was the clip I was going to include in her bump back in the return to the show. And she says, "Why did you choose that one?" I said, "Doesn't that happen in your brain though?" And she thought about it. And she goes, "Yeah, it does. It does." I said, "That's why I kept it." Well, UNID, this is Snowman in the Morning.
Broadcasting live in your region, across our nation, and around the world, this is Snowman Multimedia. We need to see it.
Put somebody in the middle of the field.
It's really, in the end, basically a skill issue.
Jesus Christ.
Well, that game sucked.
You fool!
I'm on Alarm Island.
What's that?
Give me them cocks!
Get out of my face, you thirsty bitches.
Now get out of my face, you thirsty.
Now get out of my face, you thirsty bitches. Get the hell out of my face, you thirsty bitches. That's the only package I did where I was not high on caffeine, not high on chocolate, and was actually awake at a decent hour when I put it together.
I like that one. It sounds like there's an argument between Dietz and Chen for some
Yeah,
reason.
it does.
You had to go deep. You had to search deep for that wise cut.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That wise cut was a while ago.
One more ID.
You're listening to WQVZ 1700 AM Mission Radio.
You're listening to WJKS, Steve.
Oh boy. All right. Someone is waiting for us. And dear Damian or Caleb Hernandez, we gonna fight.
Oh boy.
And I'm gonna get some help.
The magical winds of the windy city of Chicago brings Mike Drop Moran, Allison Moran, all the way from the north side.
All right. I like that. Hi, guys.
Hi, Allie.
How you doing?
I got
Allie, first question that we always have to ask. How are you and how's everything going?
Everything is going great. I have had no problems with my replaced hip. So even in the summer months, and I will beat your ass running. I tell you.
There you go.
So I'm doing great. Thanks for asking, Deeds.
Allie threw us a question in her preview, and before we get to the top of the mountain, and we all know who that is and what it concerns. Why? I've thought of this joke. Allie's the first one to make this joke. It's about Kennedy Carter, and the only thing I can ask is, why can't no one keep the bitch?
Yeah. You know, I've come to the conclusion that Kennedy Carter, who was just waived by the Las Vegas Aces, if Becky Hammond can't put up with her, I really think that she's her own worst enemy because she had a good thing going with the Aces for quite a while. But I think that where we diverged here was Kennedy really wants to be a superstar starting player, right? And I think that Becky was looking at her as a sixth man off the bench. And so I think that that's where they diverged. And she appeared to take issue. This was Kennedy Carter took issue on social media. She said, y'all can holler at me when my leash is off too. And that remark was part of a lengthier response to fans commenting on her ability to slow down Azzi Fudd. I can never remember how to pronounce her name, but we were talking about this particular incident, and I think it was kind of the final straw because you do not take your grievances to social media and the fans. That's the problem. And so the worst thing about poor Kennedy Carter is that she had a non-guaranteed veteran minimum contract valued at $277,500. Most of us would give our eye teeth to have a non-guaranteed contract like that. And the team had until 5 p.m. on Tuesday to waive players on non-guaranteed contracts. So she forfeits the entire thing by doing this crazy thing. And it's sad because she is such a good player.
But she can't keep her mouth shut.
No. She
cannot. She's her own worst enemy, and she can't keep her mouth shut. Chicago, hello.
Yeah.
See, this is a note to athletes, movie stars, anybody out there who's in the famous eye. Okay, have somebody in your life that you can write your social media post, send it to them, and say, hey, is this okay to post?
Right.
Someone should read, because if anyone read that and was like, this is probably going to bring you some heat.
Yeah.
Just letting you know, if you send this out, this is going to be a problem. You need that person in your life. Because I get it. You know, people go on Twitter, they blow they blow their head off, and then they come back and they're like, oh, I posted that. Yeah, well, once you hit send, it's out there for everybody to see.
Forever.
Yeah.
Send it to somebody in a DM. Send it to somebody in a text message and say, hey, do you think I should post this? And hopefully that person has a right head on there to be like, I probably should slow down a little.
You should.
Yeah. We all need buffers to make sure that we do not say too much. And it's I totally agree with you. And it's a shame. I don't know that Kennedy has somebody in her life like that. And it's not that
doesn't seem like it's all.
Yeah. And I mean, I just think that that it's going to be difficult for Kennedy to get any other kind of job anywhere.
I think that was her last shot.
That was the fourth time. It was it was her fourth time up. And I mean, starting out with the Atlanta Dream and then the LA Sparks and then the Sky in 2024. She was the lead scorer. She offered a lot of promise between her and Angel Reese. We certainly talked about it. And the thing is, her production has increased over the years. She was 17.5 points when she was with the Sky, and she was averaging 19 points with the Aces when she flew off the handle personally. So I'd say that it's going to be very hard for another person, another coach, to take any kind of a chance with her.
Mm-hmm.
It's so she might.
And you got to think, Allie. If there was a team that could absorb it, that could absorb her, and if she could just keep her mouth shut, she would be on a championship team.
Yep.
That has a chance to back-to-back championships.
Yeah.
You're playing next to, as I've said multiple times on this show, you're playing next to the best player in the women's basketball game right now, in Asia Wilson.
Yeah.
Everything is right there. You are poised to be a champion at the end of the year. And if they go, and Snowman, you'll like this reference.
Go.
If they go full Mike Singletary on you, can't win with them. Can't do it. If they can't do it, what in anybody's mind would think, you know what? This will help our chances. If it couldn't work there, it ain't working anywhere else.
It's like it's what Allie just said a few moments ago. If Becky Hammond, of all coaches, couldn't make it work, then the problem is staring you right in the mirror.
Yeah.
That's a you problem. If you can't make it work with Becky Hammond, that's a you problem.
That is a you problem. Yeah. Sad.
I'm gonna make Droid laugh. I'm gonna make Droid laugh here. That's a problem where you put the you put the milk in the cabinet and the cup in the refrigerator.
Right, they got the milk in the cabinet, they got the milk in the fridge.
And to poke fun at myself, that's a problem where the house is completely dark, you're getting ready to go to bed, and you forget the door is closed.
Ooh.
How do I know this? Because last night I was so exhausted when I signed out. Jody was already zonked out. She was already gone. And I'm getting ready to come to bed, and usually the door is open. Except this time it was partially closed, and bang, right on top of the door.
Oh. Ouch.
And the crazy part is I didn't wake her up. I thought for sure me banging my noggin on top of the bedroom door would wake her up. Nope. She didn't move.
Oh no, that sucks. You doing all right,
not to derail this whole segment, because I probably am right now.
That's right.
Allie, I do have a question. Did you see the Hall of Fame speeches?
Let me answer a question here in the
chat. Yeah, I saw it
in the chat. Why haven't you done the Fever games lately? I have two reasons. One, I have been physically exhausted, and two, we are coming down from a heat wave, which would have fried my office.
Yeah,
you need to get a fan in there, buddy.
I think there is one in there already.
A box fan. Air conditioning.
Well, we got AC in here. We got AC in here now, so I'll be back on Sunday night. But
even
with the late games, we were just so exhausted, And plus, third reason, I'm preparing for a CDL test, so I've been concentrating on that, which is why I brought Allie in early, because I'm gonna spend an hour after the show getting that, and then I'm gonna go knock it out.
But boss, before we carry on, I was going to from Allie. How'd you know when the door was there when it was dark? You ran into the bitch.
I ran in. Exactly.
That's good. That's good.
No, you know what? Thank you, Shane, for that. And I literally walked into the bitch. Pow! Right on top of the noggin.
That hurts. You know.
I'm waiting for the Wiley Coyote lump. I'm waiting for the Wiley Coyote lump on my head. I'm waiting for Jody to wake up, and she didn't wake up. I'm like, okay, good. I did not disturb her. I'm good. I can come to bed.
Good.
I can take some Tylenol or some gabapentin and sleep this thing off, which I did.
Yeah,
but yeah,
good
those are
for
the reasons
you.
I haven't. I haven't done the fever games because health takes priority, CDL training takes priority, and we are just coming down from a heat wave, and I didn't want my computer to fry.
Makes sense.
But
Dietz asked
I
a
will be back.
question.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Deets.
Allie, did you see the Hall of Fame speeches?
You know, I saw parts of them. I did not see the whole thing, unfortunately. We had something going on here, but do go on.
I did watch them, and I wrote down a few quotes that kind of explain why the WNBA is in the situations that they are.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Candace Parker was going into the Hall of Fame, and also the former Lynx coach, and I'm blanking on her name, but they were both going in, and they both said, these are quotes from both of them that I think are interesting when you look at the landscape of the WNBA. They were asked about the current leadership at the WNBA, and Candace Parker said, and I quote, "We're being judged on other stuff that isn't basketball."
Yeah.
End quote.
Mm-hmm.
Another quote. How do you think the leadership is handling the adjusting league? They're not listening to key stakeholders. It's not a collaboration. We've talked about this before, Allie, with our friend Kathy Engelberg, not listening to players and former players like Candace Parker, who literally said, and I have not seen anyone comment on these quotes, and these are the quotes that stuck out to me. And the last thing that the Lynx coach said was, we've seen transparency behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Quote, the next step is transparency publicly.
Bang.
End quote.
Bang. Bang, zoom. Yep.
What this tells you is that there is a group of people inside the WNBA office that are running things. And because I heard these quotes, now we know there's a group in there that is saying it's our way or the highway.
Yeah.
We're not listening to anybody else. Anybody who has an alternate opinion of ours, get out.
Uh-huh.
We don't want you. We don't want you around our league. We're going to do things our way.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to do things our way. Crash or burn. And this goes back to the segment we just talked about for an hour with video games and with EA Sports doing what they're doing. Mm-hmm. This is exactly the same thing. This is, hey, we're going to do it our way. And you little people, you people on the side, you don't matter to us. We're going to do it whether it benefits us or not.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it benefits our players, whether it benefits our players to instruct our officials better. No, we don't care about that. We don't care about it because it doesn't affect us.
Right.
That's a problem. That's a problem.
Cheryl Reeve is the coach you're thinking about.
Cheryl Reeve, yeah.
Yes.
And she's still the coach. So
okay, but all I knew is she was the Lynx head coach, and they said something about like she was the Lynx coach last year, so I didn't know.
She was, yeah. She's the Lynx coach for many, many years. So
but these comments tell you that they're the one that sticks out. They're not listening to key stakeholders.
Yeah.
They're not listening to the people who are running this, who are saying, hey, there's a problem. No, we're not going to listen to them.
I think that's one of the reasons why this Republican congressman in Texas sent a letter to Kathy Engelbert saying essentially, if you can't control the product on the court, we will do it by providing the Department of Justice, the Labor Department, and the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission with lawmakers are calling it a pattern of on-court attacks. They mention Caitlin Clark by name in this letter that they sent to Kathy Engelbert just this week. And the league could face a federal investigation if Engelbert doesn't act, which I find most interesting because have they said word one about the WNBA in 30 years? No.
Yeah, exactly. I was just listening to a year ago, last week. A year ago, I was on this program bringing up all the things that are going on now. Mm-hmm. It was a year ago we were talking about this.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Where were you? Where were y'all then? Where were y'all?
That's right.
And Snowman, what did I tell you in that interview? What did I tell you when I was on there? I said, when this hits the media, it is going to crumble. The WNBA. I said, when it hits regular media, that's when everybody's going to start paying attention. And look what's happening now.
Been the warning. You've given that warning for 2 years now.
Yeah,
but the second thing about this, Allie, when has the government ever fixed anything? The government getting involved. This is the worst idea. This is like two bad ideas coming together and be like, yeah, we can fix it. The government, you don't fix anything. Get the hell out of the way. Okay? Your best bet is to just get the hell out of the way.
Let's just say this: the best example of something that needed to get fixed was when Title IX was signed into law 54 years ago. That is an example of the government doing good. The Civil Rights Act of 1965 was a good idea. That was, does it fix attitudes? No, it will never fix an attitude. What it does is give a guideline for good behavior. Now,
I have questions.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, we can go for a long time on this. Allie, I know Title IX did some great things.
I wouldn't be sitting here without it, baby.
True.
Title IX also destroyed more than it made.
Are you talking about sports like wrestling and gymnastics?
I'm talking about male sports that were absolutely thrown in the trash because it wasn't because of Title IX. It's because of the way Title IX is written. Title IX, in theory, it is great. It's a great thing. It's a great thing bringing women's sports up. Mm-hmm. What it didn't do, it didn't do what it was. It did what it was supposed to do, and what they wanted to do with it was destroy a lot of things. They wanted to destroy things. They wanted to destroy a lot of men's sports, a lot of swimming programs, a lot of wrestling programs, rowing programs. A lot of sports got absolutely thrown in the can. Because the way it's written, it's because of the way it's written. The way Title IX is written is you have to have, it's not, hey, you have to have opportunity. It's not, hey, you have to have equal number of sports. You have to have equal opportunities.
Yes.
That one word is destructive. Yeah. And for people out there, let me just explain this for a minute.
Go for it.
What that did is it basically said, hey, if you have so many scholarships to male athletes, you have to have the equal amount of scholarships for female athletes.
Female athletes, yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And everybody says, oh, that's a great thing. That's a great thing. Here's the problem. If you have a football program, just to run a football program, offense has 11 players. Defense has 11 players. Special teams has 11 players.
Mm-hmm.
That's 30. That's 33. That's 33 scholarships. Right there.
Mm-hmm.
There's no female sport. There's no female equivalent sport that has 33 athletes on it. There's not a single one.
If flag football takes off, it will. So,
but even flag football, you don't have 11 players. You don't have offensive line. You have like 3 offensive line. But that's what happened. See, it wasn't 1-to-1. It wasn't, hey, if you have a football team, you have a field hockey team. If you have men's soccer, you have women's soccer. If you have this, you have that. No, it was written to say, all right, so if you're going to have football where you have, and that's just starters. Now you need backups for it. So look, an average football team has 54 scholarships. 54 scholarship athletes. Where are you going to get 54 women's scholarships to go with that? And before you even put another league on, before you even put another thing. So if you wanted to have a football team, a lot of schools said, well, you know what? In order to go with Title IX, we're going to get rid of our football program because we can't do it. And that's why things like Chicago University, that used to be a Division I, they went to Division III because hey, we can't give out scholarships. We cannot give scholarships to our football players because we can't. We won't be able to do it with Title IX. Other schools that wanted to keep their football program, male wrestling programs were cut. We're just gone. All of those athletes that were on campus, you no longer have a scholarship. You're out. Hockey players were gone because you couldn't make the numbers work. You had to make the numbers, and that's why I say that's why I say when I go, all right, Title IX is great in theory, and it's great for, hey, if there's a male sport, there's a female sport.
Yeah.
If it was 1-to-1 like that, awesome. We'd be talking about how great it is. But it was worded to dismantle, and it dismantled so much more. So many things were just gone from society. Iowa had to gut their wrestling program.
And staying in Iowa, I can provide this example because I did some games at University of Northern Iowa, and they had to cut their baseball team to keep their football numbers. So, Dietz, I'm seeing where you're going with this, and he's right in that sense. He is right, because there are a lot of programs that had to cut a lot of teams, as Dietz said, to make the numbers work. To make the numbers.
I wonder.
And that doesn't mean it didn't do great. That doesn't mean it didn't do great things, because it did. It did do great. It did do great things. Don't get me wrong. It did great things, but it also, and this is the problem with when the government gets involved. When the government gets involved, this is what I'm saying. Government is just going to screw this thing up even more than they are. Even more, they're going to try to do the right thing, and they can do the right thing and still do the wrong thing.
Well,
that's the government for you.
Well, my take.
Go ahead, Al.
Okay, my take on it is that it was an unintended consequence, and also an allocation issue of how different schools decided to utilize these scholarship funds because in certain cases you had you had your choice, and just depending on how each college administrator decided, or each athletic director decided to utilize what scholarships they were able to give to individuals, it may have. I would put that on the individual schools. I wouldn't put it on the ruling. I would say that there would be that if they could find a way to make it equal for all people, then they should. So that's how I come down on it. We could probably debate it for the next 6 hours and probably come up with a better idea than they already have. But I think what we call our unintended consequences. It's one of the reasons why MAGA is so popular right now, because there was a group that felt like they were left behind. And, wrestlers and everybody else who felt like they were left behind were very upset about Title IX and blamed Title IX for the woes of not getting a scholarship. And so I well understand frustration, and I well understand. I mean, women had it all the way up until 1972 and even beyond, because a lot of the individual communities like mine didn't honor it for 3 years. And finally, it took a group of very caring individuals, very caring parents to say, let the girls have their softball team. Let the girls have their cross country team. You know what kind of issues came up because nobody thought girls could run 8 miles? It's like, it was astonishing. And it took, women fought the fight for the better half of the 20th century after getting the vote in 1920. And it seems like it's a ridiculous thing to argue about, but the fact is that for every action there is a consequence. So I understand where you're coming down, Dietz, but the fact is that if you rethink it a little more, you can create fairness for all.
Oh yeah, and that's what I was saying. The way it's written, if you just take one word, if you just take that one word, opportunities, and change that word to something that's more inclusive, that says, hey, we can keep everything, but let's build. Let's build instead of hey, let's crumble one aspect. Let's just build. Let's just build up. You have to have X number of. If you have male athletes, you have to have women's things.
Yeah,
that's fine. Everything would have been fine. So Ali, I got a little story for you. So when I was in college, I was in a sociology and sport class, and we had the teacher was dead fast on, hey, everybody has to do a paper and presentation on Title IX. So everybody does their presentation. They do their papers, and you have to go up and do a PowerPoint thing. I get up to do mine. Everybody goes, I'm the last one to go. I get up to do mine. Everybody's been talking about, oh, it was great. It created this, 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 and this. I get up and say exactly what I just said 10 minutes ago. Title IX destroyed sports. And let me tell you the sports that it destroyed. And I started going into my PowerPoint presentation. halfway through my presentation. This is how I knew I struck a nerve with this one. The teacher goes, get out. In the middle of my presentation, I got kicked out of class in the middle of the presentation. I was like,
my God.
So I go, wait, you want me to leave? Okay. So I'm leaving, right? So I get ready to close the door. I open the door and I go, hey, wait a minute. If you're going to follow this rule, if you're going to kick me out, don't you have to kick the girl out? and she lost it. The teacher started throwing stuff at the door. I was like, all right, I'll be here all week. I'm out.
You remember what your grade was?
No, yeah, she didn't like that. She did not like my paper. But hey, that's
phenomenal. Yeah,
I mean, that was a class. You Chicago people will like this. All right, so the first day of class, we had to watch a video. We had to watch a video, and it was a documentary on this lady who was upset at the University of Illinois because she was appalled by Chief Alinowick. And she couldn't, and she demanded that Illinois change their mascot and change Chief Alinowick. I got up halfway through the video and I went, this is a bunch of BS. And I just left. I went, this is the worst thing I've ever seen. I was like, what is going on? That was how that's how I knew. I was like, this is not going to be a class for me. The first day, Chief Alinowick, get out. I was like, what? You're going to make a whole university change their identity over one thing? Oh, it's like, oh no.
That's a fight that I have seen and am very familiar with. I've made many a visit to Champaign-Urbana in high school and college. Let me tell you something. They love Chief Alinowick.
Oh, yeah.
They absolutely adored Alinowick. But going back to Dietz's point earlier in the conversation that the government gets in its own way, they forced U of I to change their logo. They didn't change the nickname. They changed the logo to a block eye, orange and blue block eye. Well, the folks at U of I, and I covered a game with Chicago State and U of I in 2004. So the U of I got even. And I just happened to be there when they brought back Chief Alinowick and the halftime dance for one night. I didn't do a halftime show. I turned on my recorder with the crowd mic and caught the dance. And my producer's screaming in my ear, why aren't you giving it? Trust me, you'll like this one. So I was there that night. I remember Memorial Stadium having the Chief in the middle of the field. Or someone decided to break in and burn the AstroTurf. God love AstroTurf.
God. Went up in smoke, I'd imagine.
It did.
God.
It went to grass for a while, and now they've settled on field turf. But if you're going to come after Chief Alinowick, if you're going to make them change their logo, why haven't they done the same to Florida State University?
The Seminoles.
Because the Seminole tribe has already signed off on it. The Seminole tribe has already said, you're not changing this.
Okay.
So anybody who comes in there and says, hey, you need to get rid of the Seminole spear, you need to get rid of all that, the Seminole tribe, they actually take pride in it. They're actually like, they teach the Florida State people how to do that. They teach the kids about it every year, and they say, no, this is part of our tribe now. So they embrace it down there.
Yeah,
that's the difference.
I've been there. Yeah, I've been there, and I've been on Bobby Bowden Field, and they had they've got a huge tribute, a statue to the Chief Seminole. I don't know what his name is, but I do have a picture of it somewhere in my archives from Tallahassee, and it's cool. Now, to my understanding, for a long time, the University of Illinois also did the same thing with the Native American tribes around the University of Illinois, and so they had embraced it for a while, at least, having Chief Illiniwek as the mascot.
Yep.
So. Although I think
the problem with them is there was one tribe within it that was not part of that. They were against it. The one tribe that was against it was there were I think there were 6 tribes within that. 5 of them were on board and we like this. It doesn't bother us. There was one tribe that was like, no. This offends us.
One tribe and your blackball.
They came to that one tribe. That one tribe. There were 5 other ones that were fine with it. The one tribe that wasn't, nope, we gotta change it. We gotta change it.
It's like a fraternity initiation. That's wild. Well, here the interesting part about the discourse that came around Caitlin Clark and the Republican lawmakers was that they are it was Senate, Texas Rep August Pfluger said that they are putting the league on notice that if it keeps letting the violent targeting slide, they could face a DOJ and an EEOC crackdown for violating federal civil rights law.
Time. 20-second timeout. Give me this camera.
Wait, Shanner's really quiet.
You know why? Because his microphone's got chewed up by his cats.
Oh no! I'm sorry, Shane.
Where were y'all 30 years ago? Huh? Where were you guys when the WNBA had labor dispute on top of labor dispute on top of labor dispute on top of other disputes and things like that? And you said, how do I say it here on the show? Noth and ing. Huh? Now I understand you want to protect Caitlin Clark. I mean, that's a contentious point with Caleb Hernandez, but I don't care. You have to protect your star players, just like David Stern did. It came to, I don't know, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, and a few. And
it's more than that. It's more than that. It's more than protecting your star player. And
they say that
I've done the research. I've done the research on this.
As have I. Yes,
I did the research on this. I've been doing it the last few days. I've been looking at this. Okay, so I looked at the attendance numbers for games when the Fever come to town.
Yep, same.
Yeah.
I looked, and I used the Aces because that was the most recent game that I looked at where they were on the road, where the Fever were on the road. The Fever came to town, and the Aces had almost 13,000 in attendance. I looked at the game. So I was like, all right, how does this compare to previous games? Previous games, they were averaging 10,000 fans. Average. They were averaging 10,000. I saw it on the thing. 10,000.
Mm-hmm.
The game before Caitlin Clark game, they had about just over 12,000 fans. Yeah. Caitlin Clark comes to town. Yeah. They have 13,000 fans. So I was like, okay, that's happening. That's happening in Las Vegas. Let me check out some other teams. Let me check out. But then I was like, all right, let me check out some, who are the big names? Who are the big names that are in the WNBA? Let me check out what happened when the Dream came to town. Oh, the Dream came to town, 10,000 fans. Oh, the Wing. Let me see what happened when the Dallas Wings came to town, 10,000 fans. Wait a minute. So you're telling me Caitlin Clark is bringing people to these games? So I go back and I look at the other teams. I looked at the Dallas Wing. Everybody says, "Oh, Paige Beckers is driving everybody to the stadium." The Dallas fan base, they have 65,000 fans. There's 6,500 fans. 6,500 to their home games. I looked at the Fever home games. Fever home games, 13,000 fans in that arena. Some games got up to 15. So, WNBA, you're telling me that you're not going to protect somebody who's bringing thousands of fans into your arenas, and you're not going to protect her? You're going to let people throw punches at her throat? You're going to let people tackle her to the court? This is about the viability of this league. You cannot have this.
No,
you can't you can't function like this.
I got the evidence up here, right here. On the away attendance is led by Indiana, and it ain't even close because they're averaging 14,400 plus.
That makes sense.
Next behind them is Phoenix, then Dallas, Atlanta, and then Chicago. Those are the away attendance averages. At home, Golden State far and away, 18,064 at the Chase Center, and they've sold that out for the next 2 years. Next two teams behind them, New York and, would you look at that? Indiana.
Again, that's not surprising.
I don't know much about this, but Dean has a question about the Skylar Thomas video. What do you think the Sky? What do you guys think about it? And will the Sky get rid of her?
I'm thinking that they're going to bench her for quite some time. I don't think that they will get rid of her. I think that right now she's got a knee injury that they're keeping her out of the game for. But I think behind the scenes, what's going to be happening is that they are going to sit down and talk specifically about her role and what it is that they can do to communicate better and be better in the long run. It could very well be if she pulls a Kennedy Carter and starts, tweeting out different insults to the team and her place in it. It's going to be a problem. But I'm really not sure how that's going to play out right now. I don't think anybody really knows.
It's going to be how useful is she to the team?
Yeah.
That's where Kennedy Carter went wrong. Kennedy Carter, you were on the bench. Skylar Thomas. If Skylar Thomas is a starter, they're going to go. They're going to talk to Sky, and they're going to be like, "Look, what can we do to smooth this over? Let's get you back. Let's get you back, and let's get you playing."
Yeah.
If she starts playing and her play is terrible, and they have to bench her, she's going to be gone. They're going to be like, "You know what? This ain't worth it. Get out."
Yeah.
That's how it's going to play out.
Probably.
If she's useful to the team, they'll keep her. If she's not useful, they'll get rid of her.
Well, interestingly enough, since she's been benched, they've won 3 out of 5 games. So go figure that. We'll see. Like you say, if I agree with that. If she's valuable to the team, they're going to find a way to keep her. And if they're better off without her, basically the Sky is so many moving parts right now. it's hard to say what's going to happen. They've had to reconfigure their lineup about 7 or 8 times in this season that's halfway done now.
Yep.
It's going to be crazy, but she said to the Sun Times, Skylar Diggins said, "I've been putting my body on the line. I'm here for this team. I've done everything that's been asked of me. I've been great professionally. That's a decision that's made, and I've got to live with that." So that's kind of how it is. And he declined, Coach Marsh declined further comment. So he said he prefers to keep his conversations with players private.
First marketing he's done in quite some time.
What? Say that, Victor.
I said first smart thing he's done in quite some time.
Yeah. Yes, he has.
One more note before we get out of here. There's women's baseball coming to Rockford.
There is. Yes.
You know I can't let a good joke die. So wait a minute. We're talking baseball?
We are talking the International Women's Baseball Center in Rockford.
There's a
They
certain
have
guy in North Carolina who's upset at both of those.
they are
many reasons. Okay.
Yes.
Are they going to be the Peaches?
Are they?
Is that what we're gonna get? Is that what we're gonna get?
I hope so.
Are we getting a league of their own?
I think
is that what's happening?
It's even better. It's even better. They have an event coming up, a rededication of this stadium it's called Rivets Stadium, July 22nd to 26th, and there's an entire celebration. I actually happen to be friends on Facebook with Maybelle Blair, one of the original American Girls Professional Baseball League. And so they've got her as kind of their mascot. And so she's going to be out there. I can't imagine, because she is like over 90 years old right now. And it will be terrific. And by the way, coming in 2027, the Women's Baseball World Cup Finals. Think about that. Isn't that exciting? So, opening.
Well, let me give them some free marketing advice.
Can't wait.
Bring out Gina Davis. Bring out Madonna. Bring out Rosie O'Donnell. Bring all of them out.
I hope they have a budget
people out and promote it that they're going to be there. I guarantee you that thing will be off the hook.
Love it.
We're going to find out because, and I don't think Allie knows this, I'm applying for some press passes for it.
All right. Great.
To put the headset on because the celebration starts the day after my birthday.
All right.
Nice.
July 22nd. I reached out to them all. I've reached out to them already. I got the reminder that the portal is open now to apply for press passes. So I'm going to do that.
Excellent.
Should that come through, I'm sticking Allie in the booth with me. I'm bringing Jody with me. And Victor, you coming too.
I'm available. No problem. That'll be great. Road trip.
It will be a road trip for us coming from Indiana. All right, we need to get out of here. Allison Moran, my dear, thank you so very much. Every week.
It's always fun. It's great time. Thank you. And everybody have a good week. Chris, you are 1 in a million.
Thanks, Allie.
Not the first time, won't be the last time somebody says that.
Right?
No.
Next week, Allie.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Food, Deets. I'm just letting you know that. You a fool.
Dietz is currently living his best genocide Joe life, going bingo bullseye right on the money all the time.
Right?
That's for you, Ben.
That's since you're kicking me out. Do you have to kick a girl out too? I will never forget that.
That's amazing.
I will never.
These are things that happen.
I know these are actual stories. These are Have a great weekend. God bless. Remember to make your next move the best move, and always remember, if your dreams don't scare you, they're simply not big enough. Dream big, do bigger. We are. We hope y'all are too. I got a couple tests to take. See you Monday.
I can't do it.
What?
Let's try that again.
Hey, let's try that again. See ya. This is exactly what I get for that noggin knocker I took last night on the bedroom door.
Yep.
Out.